Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video. I am still working through my photos from New York and I am at MoMA with this layout. So that's the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. And I was very excited to go because I didn't get to go the first time I was in New York. So I made sure to make a special stop for this. And so I am moving on to the photos I have that are from Matisse. So these are all from Matisse. You can see this is a close-up of this corner right here. This is a completely separate painting. And then they had a wonderful quote from him on the wall near this painting. And so I took a snapshot of that and I wanted to make sure that it got used as well. Now what's interesting about this layout is technically it's like 3 to 4 pages. I have this side on the left. I have this insert. There will be something on this side and there will be something over here. However, I just felt like that would make the video too long, and so I'm just going to work on these two and I'll do the other ones separately. So I don't have anything really picked out for this, so I feel like I'm really starting from scratch other than, you know, what I've inserted here, but I don't have any embellishments, I don't have any stickers or phrases or any of that stuff. So it might be a little bit of a challenge because I'm scrapping art. I'm not quite sure how to exactly do that. This was the only thing that when I saw it, I knew it had to be in here because I've read several things on Matisse and the fact that he loved to play with color. And you can see that here. A lot of these colors are not natural in the way in which they're used here, but he didn't care. That was part of his style. He wanted to be a little avant-garde, wanted to mix that up. And so I knew that would work, but beyond that, I'm just not sure. So I'm gonna go dig through my stash and see what I find. So I forgot that I do have this little phrase here as part of some of my New York digital elements, and it actually says Metropolitan Museum of Art. So I need to use that in here, and it happens that it's red. And so it's not the same red as this photo, but red enough that it will work over here. So I think what I'm going to do, since I've got dead space up here, is I'm going to take this photo that has the quotation from Matisse, and then I'm just going to put this on here like that. I thought maybe I would do it to the side, but I think it looks kind of strange when this is centered, so centered it is. I did adhere the title there. It's cut too closely to the ends to put a staple in there, but I'm thinking that maybe I'll do some rhinestones, and I'm thinking either clear or maybe this blue because it matches this over here. And you know, there is a little blue in this painting. It's not the easiest to see. There's a little bit here. There's a little bit here. This is more of kind of a regular blue. This is more of an aqua here. And then there's a little bit, you know, maybe in here. So I don't know. I'm going to try it both ways, see which one I like better, and then I'll stick those on there. So I put up one of each here to help me make my decision. And in looking at it, because the focus is a lot of color, I think it has to be the blue. I think the clear just kind of blends into the background and it doesn't really add anything. It looks like I just stuck it there to stick it there. This at least looks like I'm trying to bring the color together, and so I think that gives it a more cohesive feel to it. So I'm going with the blue. So the rhinestones are attached. And I think because there's so much going on in this painting and I've got this bright, shiny color happening here, that I'm going to leave this alone. I'm not planning to do anything else with that part of the insert. But then that means I need to work on all of this. Obviously, this is from my journaling, but I think it needs something down here. I'm not sure if it needs a little phrase or if I need to stamp something. I don't know. I'll probably leave this alone, though, because the color is so gorgeous. And it just captures the eye, and it's the first thing that really draws you in, and I don't want to detract from that. So I'll probably leave that alone. But so really I've got something here, and then I have to figure out what to do with all of these. So that's up next. So you can see there's some light pink in here. And as I was going through my stash of stuff, I found this. It just says hello there, but it's got a nice kind of scripty font, and it's a little flag or pennant on the end, which I like. It's a little bit too long for this square, but I can cut off part of it and then it would work just fine. So I think I am going to take this and I'm going to adhere it to the blue grid square right here. For the item that goes in this bottom pocket, I think because it's got kind of this built-in hole, it's supposed to look like the hole in a tag, that I will also put a rhinestone there. These don't sit exactly across from each other, so I think it's okay to have another one of those right here. I may decide to add one somewhere else to try to get a visual triangle with the rhinestones, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I am going to start with another blue one there just to get that going. And then I'm going to stamp here. I don't know what I'm going to stamp, but I'm going to stamp something. So I'll also have to dig through my stamps to find an element that will work here. I did put down the rhinestone and I like it. I think it does work. It helps us to bring in these three pieces of the same color. So I think it works in this particular scheme. So yay for that. And then now on to finding a stamp that will work. I have pulled out this stamp set, and this is from Kelly Perky, and it was from last year. So I'm not sure if you can still get it, but it is from 2017. I'm going to use this stamp that says Museum Visit. Now there is another one on here that says Viewing Art Pieces, and I'm going to use that one too, but not on this layout. I have some pictures of Monet's paintings. I didn't know it, but there was one of his huge water lily paintings there. So that was a nice surprise, and I figure I will wait until I get to that to use this one. But for now, I'll just use the Museum Visit, and I think that'll work quite nicely right there. So I'm ready to stamp. I am using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. That's my favorite black ink. If I were doing this on a slick surface, like on the photo, I would use StazOn, because it's made for those types of surfaces, but this is just normal cardstock, so I'm going to use the Memento instead. Make sure that that's totally covered there. Always makes me a little nervous to stamp in case I screw it up. Just press firmly. Yay, and it's perfect. I love it. For this pocket up here, I am going to stamp on there, and I think I've decided that I'm going to use the stamp right here that says Explore, because I was exploring the galleries, and I thought maybe about doing the more open one, but I think I want that bold, filled text so that it matches this more. That solid black contrast, I think, will work here, so that's my next goal, is to get that part done. So I'm not sure why, but this stamp is giving me a little bit of trouble. It looks like, even though I've primed it and used this stamp before, it looks like the ink is kind of just sitting on top, like it isn't totally ready to stamp. I did try it on a scratch piece of paper and it looked fine. So cross your fingers. I hope this comes out well. So we're gonna give it a whirl. I want it to be pretty centered. Right about here, I think. So I'm just going to push down hard and make sure all that ink gets off of the stamp and onto the paper. Oh yeah, it looks great. Whew! All right, good. I was nervous about that one. The last thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do a little black outlining to bring in some of this up here, just so that it feels like it matches a little better. So I'm just using my Zig pen here. And then I'm just going to go right underneath the line that's already there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, if it's not, that's better. Gives it a more fun look, I think. There we go. And I think that does help. It's not such a stark white then, and then it brings in those black elements. So let's see here. I'll actually put it in the pocket so that you can see it as it's finished. So there we go. That's the left side. The right side, all I did here was that stamping, some outlining. I added that flag, put a little rhinestone on, stamped a simple phrase here. And this was the super easy part. All I did was put this title on there, 2 rhinestones, and that's it. So this was an easy one, and I think it looks great. So thanks for playing along with me, everybody.